Welcome to the Holistic Transformation Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Beverly. I'm the founder of the Dancing Bear Enlightenment Academy, where we explore the intersections of ancient wisdom, modern metaphysics, and holistic healing. Today, we will step into something both mysterious and deeply important. It's a force many have forgotten, but which may now be re-emerging. The hidden planet at the edge of our solar system, now known as Planet 9, or as some still call it, Planet X. When Pluto was a planet, it was Planet 10 or X, but by downgrading Pluto, it's now the mysterious infrared planet becomes Planet 9, but we're not fooled. We know what they're talking about. So what this unseen giant is not only real, but also the silent timekeeper of Earth's great evolutionary cycles. What if 2025 marks one of those cycles? And if you listen to some people, it definitely does. So what exactly is Planet 9? For decades, astronomers have tracked strange orbital planets in the Kuiper Belt, that's way out there, objects that seem to be pulled by something massive but invisible. Maybe it's Planet 9, a theorized planet 5 to 10 times the size of Earth. Some say it's an infrared sun, not even a planet. So in an incredibly long orbit, possibly taking tens of thousands of years to complete one revolution. So it takes a long time before it gets close to the sun. It might be a massive unseen planet beyond Neptune, unseen because it's infrared. Maybe that's why the Catholic Church has an infrared telescope down by Tucson in Arizona. I've always wondered, why would you have an infrared telescope? What are you looking for? And they have, I forgot the excuse. They say, oh, we're looking for this. But really, or did they know something we don't know? So we haven't seen it yet, but we've seen its shadow. We've seen the effect that it has on its surrounding environment and on our solar system. And ancient peoples, long before telescopes, spoke about a dark returning star, a force that brings upheaval, but also purification and renewal. So let's talk about some of those prophecies. So the indigenous wisdom traditions from Hopi to Sumerians have pointed out this returning force. The Hopi called it the Blue Kachina. It's a celestial being whose appearance signals the end of one age and the beginning of another. Why it was blue, I don't know. Planet 9 echoes the planetX or destroyer mentioned in ancient Sumerian texts and other esoteric traditions. Many believe it cycles back during great world transitions, causing shifting climates, magnetic field changes, and shifts in consciousness. I think we're seeing that right now. So in these stories, Earth doesn't experience climate or geological shifts. Humanity is reborn. Consciousness is elevated. New spiritual abilities awaken. The veils between dimensions thin. Some people talk about that. It can be scary if you haven't seen between the veils and know that other beings are, I mean, I've been talking to them for a long time. I know many of you have as well. They're out there. They communicate with a lot of us. But when it thins, we're going to actually see them. We'll see the mini hoonies and the fairies and the, what do they call them? I forgot what you call them in Ireland. It's on my tongue, can't get it out. Sorry. You know what they are. So these myths don't always point to destructions, but to purification, rebirth, and the rise of the new human. So we talked about the new human a couple of weeks ago. So does this sound familiar? If you're regular on my podcast, it does. So in modern terms, we see this as solar flares, pole shifts, climate, and by pole shifts, I'm talking about magnetic pole shifts, climate anomalies, and an undeniable surge in spiritual sensitivity, telepathy, and other synchronicities. Could Planet Nine be the unseen amplifier behind these unusual events or upgrades or whatever you want to call it? So let's talk about the timeline for 2025. What can we expect? And why is 2025 so significant? So what's really happening in 2025 is we have felt intuitively is a turning point for Earth and humanity. I'm sure you have felt it if you're listening to this. I know I've been feeling it for some time, and it just becomes more intense every month. And now in May, it's becoming more intense almost daily. I think in the beginning of 2025, it started taking place more on a weekly basis. And now, even during the day, there's shifts and changes. It's getting a little bit crazy. I don't know what to expect. And when I talk to other people, they're going through the same thing. So we did have a series of rare, powerful astrological events. And that's when the outer planets change signs. They don't change, they move slowly. Um, Jupiter is the fastest of the big planets. It spends a year. Saturn is next, and it spends several years. Then, when you get out to Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto, they take a decade or more. So, Pluto went into Aquarius last November. It was the final deconstruction of corrupt power and power systems and people over humanity. And we're seeing that all over the world. We went from, I can't say too much, but I'll just say pure insanity to craziness. Things are not sane yet, but they're not insane. They're just a little crazy. Then Neptune entered Aries in March, and that initiated spiritual action. It spent 14 years in Pisces, so it'll spend quite a bit of time in Aries. And it ignited a new cycle of visionary fire, because Aries is a fire sign. And Neptune rules Pisces, and you think of it as a water planet. It's kind of bluish, dark blue. And so we can expect an energetic push to take place in our dreams, our soul calling, and spiritual rebellion. Jupiter became conjunct to Uranus in Taurus. Now, Jupiter doesn't really like Taurus, but that happened in April. So radical shifts in values, technology, earth energies. This was a breakthrough moment. It was an energetic fusion of earth-based abundance and quantum awakening. Technologies that restore balance to nature are rapidly emerging, like flying cars, med beds. You may have heard about them. I know of a company that's going to start making flying cars, and I do know of people that have med beds, and they're starting to train people on how to use them. So financial structures may collapse, and they could reset at any time. You hear that in the news. Oh, it's going to be a collapse. I mean, they've been saying it for a long time, but I think we're really getting close to that. Then Saturn, it just went into from Pisces into Aries, but it won't stay there. It's going to go back into Pisces. I'm not too happy with Saturn and Pisces. It's kind of wishy-washy. And it's just going to clean up whatever. It's a structure builder, so it's just going to clean up whatever it forgot. But then it will permanently go into Aries August 12th. And it'll go before August 12th, but by August 12th, it will literally be conjunct. Now, for me, I do whole signs. So once it enters a sign, they're conjunct. It's a little bit different, but you get the idea. By August 12th, this is when your visions, Neptune, and structures, Saturn, come together. So this means illusions meet truth. You can't fool yourself anymore. Whatever things you've been telling yourself about your soul purpose or your own personal truth, all going to fall apart by August, middle of August. So then we have Jupiter going into Cancer. So Jupiter spends a year in each sign. So it's been a year in Taurus, a year in Gemini. It doesn't like it, but it's going into Cancer. Now it's exalted in Cancer, and Jupiter is the big benefic planet. Venus being the minor benefic, but it's still pretty good. But Jupiter's big, so it's the big benefic. So on June 6th of this year, the big benefic will be in its exalted sign of Cancer. And this is where emotionally things are going to shift. And when you shift your emotions, you shift your karma. Your emotions are what drive everything. It drives your manifestation. It drives your good and your negative karma. So Earth herself becomes more sentient to us. The need to protect the vulnerable, like children, ecosystems, and our intuition will intensify. And we're seeing that already with a lot of people, pro this, con that. I'm not going to say what. You figure that out. So we'll likely see both massive climate shifts and an upsurge of humanity's heart-centered wisdom. So hopefully we'll see that in the form of people cooperating, since we have Pluto in Aquarius. What else was I going to say about this? I forgot. Oh, I was going to say on the Earth becoming more sentient, I'm seeing animals becoming more sentient. The communication with animals is becoming stronger. I've been talking to animals for years, but it just seems like sometimes when an animal came to me, I'd have to do a shamanic journey or a meditation to figure out what the message was. And now I'm getting it right away. Today I was looking out the window and I looked up and whoa, there was an eagle and it just kept flying right around up there. And so getting those messages are going to be more real time for all of us. So when those big planets and outer planets change, it doesn't just affect us personally, it affects humanity in general. So things are going to start changing by the end of 2025. So these outer planets affect not just the individuals, and depending on your chart. So you have to look on your astrology chart and you have to figure out, do you have aspects or links like a square or a trine, etc. If you know astrology, you know what I'm talking about. But if you look on like astro.com or something and you do your chart, they'll have these little lines. And the red lines are squares and the blue lines are trines. So you like the trines and the squares, you have to watch out for the energy. So look and see if they're going to affect you. But in general, they shape generations. So people that are born later this year are going to be very different from the people that we've seen up until now. And the people who have been born since November of last year through mid-August of this year are going to be very unique. It's a unique combination of planets and their aspects that, well, we've never seen it before in Earth's history that we know of. And will we ever see it again? I don't know. It's that rare. So it's a very unusual time. So anyone born during this time is going to be a little bit different, and not in a bad way. So imagine these planetary alignments happening in response to this returning deep objects from space. So planet nine. It may not show up in the headlines, but its gravitational presence could already be influencing our magnetic field, tectonic pressures, and solar activity. So what does this mean for you? It isn't just astrology. These transits are instructions for how to how to evolve. Sorry, I'm a little dyslexic. I sometimes use the wrong word. So here's how it affects you as a soul navigating these frequencies. You may already be feeling it, heightened energy that sometimes crashes and then goes back up. Emotional swings, the sense that time is shifting. Sometimes it speeds up, sometimes it's slow. Your dreams may become more vivid. You may even start dreaming. You may not have remembered your dreams before, but now you may start remembering them. A number of people I've talked to have started having vivid dreams that they never used to remember their dreams before. So this isn't random. You are tuning into the frequency of the new Earth timeline, one where old systems collapse to make space for authenticity. And we're seeing old systems collapse in the US. I won't go any further with that, but there is a 4-letter word that starts with D, didn't get approved, but found a lot of stuff. You can fill in the blanks. So the physical body becomes lighter and more sensitive. You become more sensitive to energies, not more emotionally. So you can become more emotionally sensitive, but as you awaken more, you become more grounded emotionally. So telepathy, claircognizance, and electronic awareness is going to go up in all of us. Your soul mission becomes non-negotiable. So we all have multiple soul missions. We didn't come here for one reason. We have several. Some of you have very, very specific directed missions. Like I have 2 specific missions. Other people, when I do their chart, they don't have any particular one. They just wanted to be here during the change. So if that's your mission, then your mission is to hold the light for everyone else as they transform. So what is your mission? And that's what you will be fulfilling. It's going to happen, and it'll happen for everybody. Is this why spiritual practice, nervous system regulation, and community alignment is so critical now? Yes. You're not preparing for collapse. You're preparing for stabilizing yourself for rebirth. So it's not collapse, it's rebirth. So let's dive a little deeper into the planets. So Jupiter in Cancer is asking you to embody emotional leadership. You'll feel pull towards nurturing roles, emotional leadership, whether it's teaching, caregiving, or healing the earth. Jupiter in Cancer expands themes of emotional intelligence, family, ancestral healing, planetary caretaking. So, which of those are important for you? As you become more awakened and enlightened, that emotional intelligence will improve and you'll become more grounded and calmer. So some of the things that shift emotionally and karmically are Earth herself. She's becoming more sentient to us. And I talked about that earlier with the animals as well. And communication is going to be more intense with humans and with the animals and with the Earth herself, with the plants, with everything, because we're all one and we will be able to communicate empathically. We won't need words. We'll see images and we'll sometimes, I'm more claircognizant, so sometimes I just know what people are thinking. I don't actually hear it. I don't always see it. Sometimes I see it when I talk to animals. I see visions sometimes. And that's going to open up for everybody if it hasn't already opened up for you. So Saturn, when it becomes conjunct to Neptune, a lot of these visions are going to start happening. This is your ancestral integration. So you're going to remember past lives, maybe. You're going to start clearing intergenerational trauma that you haven't already healed. A lot of us have been doing ancestral karma healing for quite some time now, but it's going to become intense. Whatever traumas have not been cleared yet, they will be cleared by the end of this year. And you will be getting new gifts, including DNA upgrades. So be ready for that. I find when I get a DNA upgrade, I need more sleep. All of a sudden, I'll say, why did I sleep so long? I'm one of these people that doesn't sleep much, 5, 6 hours at the most, and that's it. And lately, sometimes I need a nap during the day, or like last night, I slept 8 hours. I never sleep 8 hours. I slept 8 hours. So it's going to change. Your sleep patterns will change. And when you do have a DNA upgrade, you will sleep a little bit longer. So how will Neptune in Aries affect you? It's going to challenge you to take courageous spiritual action. So in other words, you can no longer hide your truth. You have to face it. It's time to walk your talk. No more talking. And I mean, I know naturopaths I went to school with who have terrible diets, acupuncturists I went to school with, terrible diets. They don't even treat themselves, so they end up with health issues that no acupuncturist should end up with. It's time for that to end. You got to walk your talk, whatever that means for you and whatever it is that you do or believe. So how is Pluto in Aquarius going to affect us? It's going to push you to transform your relationship to technology, community, and collective purpose. That's what Aquarius is about. Technology, I haven't heard this, but it's possible that they'll have new computer systems available. I know they already have DNA-based computing systems. They're way beyond the computations are so fast, and you can just tell it what you want. Things like Microsoft programs, they are so 1990s technology. That stuff needs to change. I used to use Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop all the time. I hardly ever use them anymore. I use Canva. The images are free. If I use anything else, I have to buy the image or I have to create it from scratch. So if you're using Canva, you're already using the new technology. Medicine as we know it is going to change dramatically with the med beds. Uh, the way we move and transport ourselves is going to change dramatically with anti-gravity becoming available. Yeah, they've had it since the 40s. It was just, they lied to us. Oh, those are alien UFOs. No, they're not. It's our government. So align yourself to these high frequency collaborations and feel the friction of isolation. We need to come together in community. And so that might be your local community, or it just might be like-minded community of people. Through it all, Planet 9 remains the wild card, or Planet X, whatever you want to call it. So the mysterious force that may be thinning the magnetic field, heightening your perception, and inviting a dimensional shift that transcends logic just might be this planet. Could be something else, but I'm suggesting that it's this planet, that this planet exists. So in closing, we're stepping through a portal in 2025, not because the world is ending, but because a new vibrational architecture is being built. So we're transforming, transitioning, we're changing. We're not collapsing and starting over, which, I mean, will that happen eventually someday? Okay, it could. I doubt it's going to happen in 2025. So I don't listen to naysayers. I don't listen to channels that talk about all this negative stuff. Oh, it's the end of the world. Don't go there. Just turn that stuff off. It'll just make you worry. You don't need that kind of stuff. Um, so the sky is giving us a map. Okay. Jupiter expands the heart when it's in Cancer. Neptune ignites our soul's courage when it's in Aries. Saturn structures our new world when it's in Aries. So it's going to be right next to Neptune. So we're going to be given the courage to face and incorporate the change to create new structures. And Pluto transforms the collective mind when it's in Aquarius. So we're all going to be seeing the world differently. Hopefully we can unite on that. Right now things are so divided. So perhaps planet 9, if it is real, is the celestial metronome. If you know what a metronome, if you do music, you know what a metronome is. So it sets the rhythm for the rest of the orchestration, for the rest of the changes. It's just going to happen. So go with the flow. So will you resist or will you retreat? Will you hibernate or will you go out there and face it and say, I'm going to be part of the change? Will you align, expand, and anchor a new frequency? This is your one time to co-create with Earth, with the cosmos, and with the intelligence already awakening inside of you. So visualize that future, the structure you want to live in, the structure of peace. I always want peace. The structure of unity, of community, where people help each other instead of unaliving each other and other nasty things going on right now. So I want to thank you for joining me on this deep cosmic journey. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this message, and stay tuned as we continue to explore the transformation of the human spirit in real time. What are your beliefs about what will come in 2025? Please comment down below and so we can share that with others. So until next time, remember to be the light you want to see in the world.